Hello besas, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do mostly paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Alright guys, before we get started with the video, I quickly wanted to thank Rose Forever New York for partnering with me once again and sending over another beautiful bouquet of roses. This time around I chose this dome one with these beautiful baby blue roses. Like, how amazing are these? Look at this. It's got like more of a matte leather finish on this instead of the suede that I usually get, and they are so stunning. Look at this, you guys. They are beautiful. Thanks so much for sending these over to me, and they did give me a code for me to share with you guys so you guys could get some money off of their roses. So if you guys are interested in shopping their roses, let me tell you a little bit about them. Rose Forever is a New York-based rose brand launched in 2019. They design luxurious rose boxes with natural roses that will last for up to a year. Use natural oils to preserve the roses. The bouquets are handcrafted by professionals, and all the materials that they use for the boxes are vegan and come in a range of different colors to choose from, as well as with the roses, which come in special colors like violet, black, and royal blue, and are created through a natural process of pigmentation to keep the rich, intense shade and are allergen free. There is an enormous choice of rose colors and box shape or material, so you have a lot to choose from. But yeah guys, if you guys are interested in checking them out and purchasing some roses from them, I will have all of their information in the description box, as well as my discount code, which is BeyondBSA25, to get $25 off of your purchase of these beautiful roses. They are worth it, and they make a great centerpiece, great decor for your room or your living room, anywhere in your house, and for anybody who enjoys having flowers in their home. Again, thank you so much, Rose Forever New York, for partnering with me, and I really appreciate you guys. Now on to the video. Alright guys, it has been a minute again since I have sat down and filmed a video, so please bear with me in this one. You might see a lot of cuts again, but I am reading off of something, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for me. But as you guys can tell by the title, today I will be talking to you guys about 3 allegedly haunted locations in Washington State. Now, as some of you may know, some of you may not know, I do live in Washington State, which is in the Pacific Northwest, just above Oregon and California. And yeah, so I have lived here for over, I want to say, I think probably 17 years or something like that. But yeah, anyway, so I went ahead and looked up some of these places, and I found a little article that had quite a few different spots, some of them that I've never heard of, and then a couple that are actually really close to where I live and where I work. So stay tuned for the last one that I will be reading for today's video, or telling you guys about, because I got a little surprise for you. We'll get there when we get there. Okay, so stick around to the end. All right, let's go ahead and get into the first location, which is the Campbell House, which is located in Spokane, Washington. Now this Spokane is a little bit further from where I live, so I have never really been in this area before, but as you guys can see the picture of the house here, it is a very, very old historic building. It's got that very old-timey Victorian sort of look to it. And here is what they say about the Campbell House. The Campbell House is one of Washington's most well-known historical landmarks. It was designed and built by Kirkland K. Cutter in 1898 and was first owned by Amasa Basilio Campbell. I don't know if I said that right. There is a very sad story attached to the house. In the early 1900s, 3 of the Campbell children were murdered by a burglar who also kidnapped the 4th child. The child was never returned, and with such a tragic past, it is hardly surprising that the Campbell house is one of the most haunted houses in the state of Washington. Visitors describe feeling a very unsettling feeling on entering the house and are often overcome with dread. There is a portrait of Amasa Basiliel Campbell in the house that is said to follow visitors with its eyes as they wander the house, perhaps looking to see if the kidnapper ever returns. Who knows? But this property is so beautiful, especially this picture that I'm looking at right now. You guys will see it in the winter time with the snow. It actually looks really cute, but the inside is pretty scary. Just a tad bit scary. It's got like some of those creepy looking stairs, very like Shining vibes. Yeah, overall very creepy aesthetic for this house. But when they put it during Christmas time, it looks really, really cute. All right, moving on to our second location. This is going to be the Black Diamond Cemetery. And that's pretty straightforward with what the location is. This is Black Diamond, Washington. There have been a few people who have made videos of them visiting this cemetery, and nearby that there's like a ghost town, and people come over here and investigate. And this is supposedly one of the most haunted cemeteries in Washington state. So that's why it's like a pretty popular one for these amateur sort of paranormal investigators to go wander around and take a look at what they can catch on camera. Here's what it says. The very fact that Black Diamond Cemetery is a burial ground makes it a little creepy. But when you add the fact that this is actually one of the most haunted locations in Washington, it really kicks the spook factor up a few notches. It has been said that visitors have heard whistling and voices when nobody else is around. There have also been reports of the swinging lanterns of dead coal miners seen on foggy nights. I always love when there's some sort of aspect with light, like people will see lights around the cemetery or like weird looking patches of fog or something like that. And I am looking at a few pictures of the actual cemetery that people have taken. And as I said, there's a ghost town nearby, so there's plenty of abandoned little things here and there, and different pictures of the actual cemetery that with investigators who have been there. And there's one picture that I was looking at just now of this sort of fog coming up from a patch of grass next to one of the tombstones, and just like pictures with what could possibly be like orbs or something like that. And if I can find any clip of somebody visiting it, like a good clip with something remotely scary, I will go ahead and add it here. If not, then there will be nothing here. And we will be moving on with our next one. But before we do, I do want to say that I have always kind of avoided making cemeteries something scary. I know I have mentioned a few things here and there, like the one with all of the kids, a cemetery that's just specifically for kids that is in Mexico, where people leave a bunch of toys and stuff, and when they come back, like the toys will be moved to a different location and so on and so forth, which is fine because it's more like of something innocent and kind of sad and not as much scary, right? But this is a resting place for people and a place that is to be respected. So when I see investigators who aren't being respectful, it kind of sucks. So that's why I was like, if I find a good one that I actually want to put out there for other people to go watch, I will. Otherwise, if it's one of those where they're like taunting the spirits or trying to be funny or whatever, then, you know, no thank you. But okay, let's go ahead and move on to our third one. Oh yeah, and as I said, this is going to be just 3 of them. And for this third one, let me scroll down to it really quickly. So the third location that we're going to be talking about is the historic Everett Theater, which is located in Everett. I work in Everett, and I actually was able to go drive up to this location. I didn't actually get to go in, but I went to go see it for myself because it's literally so close to where I work, and there's so many different places in Everett that are historic, and this is just one of them. This one was built in 1901, and it has been there for a very, very long time. So everything around it has changed. Like there's different stuff that's next to it now that kind of like looks out of place with this beautiful historic building next to it. Like there was like a Quiznos next to it before, and so on and so forth. But anyway, yeah, I was able to drive to this location after I got off of work. So I literally went over there at like almost 9 p.m. and I was able to see it. So I will tell you guys about this location, and then we will cue the video that I took when I was there. As I said, I was unable to go inside because they were closed at that time, and I didn't get like a special tour or anything like that. Nothing like that, because it's just an operating, and actually they still operate this theater, so they have shows and stuff, and people still work there, but it's been there for a very long time. So it says, located in the historic mill town of Everett, just 25 miles north of Seattle, lies the historic Everett Theater. Opening in 1901, then known as the Everett Opera House, it played host to many of the biggest names in early 20th century entertainment, such as the Marx Brothers, Fatty Arbuckle, and George Cohan, which I don't know any of those people, I'm sorry. With over 120 years of history, it wasn't until 1993 during renovations that supernatural reports started to really ramp up. Whilst the work was going on, people would often experience the feeling of being watched, and doors would mysteriously not shut. In one instance, a member of staff was on his way out of the projection room when the door just wouldn't close. The more force he used, the more resistance there was. Then suddenly the door burst open, hitting him in the chest and knocking him to the floor. Whoever haunts here certainly seems to like the projection room, as on another occasion, an employee witnessed a sweater lift off the floor and float before being thrown back down. In another instance, an employee was working on the film projector when he suddenly felt like he was being watched. Looking up, he saw what he described as a man from his waist up looking at him through the projection window, disappearing moments later. So it seems like this place has probably the most activity out of the 3 that I read, or the other 2 that I read. And this one to me it's like really creepy, because when a place has so much history like this and people have passed away who performing was one of their passions or something like that, a lot of the times when there is spirits that haven't moved on, they like to linger in places where they used to be all the time. So whoever is haunting this place must have performed here before and just doesn't want to leave, and he kind of just does whatever, like messes around with people, tries to scare them or interact with them, get a reaction or something like that. But just being there when I was outside of the theater, it does kind of have like a very eerie vibe, especially because I was there on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, and I was sitting outside. I was the only car parked there, well, not the only car parked there, but like the only person who was there, and the other 2 cars that were parked next to me, nobody was in them, and there was nobody walking on the streets at all, and there was just like one person that walked by at one point, and it's pretty much a ghost town on the weekdays, but on the weekends is when it's popping, because I tried going on a Friday and I think I said it in the video, but it was packed to the brim. Like I could not find parking next to the building whatsoever. And I do regret not getting out of the car and looking around like the windows and stuff to show you guys the inside, but I will be adding pictures, you know, while I'm talking about it. Either way, yeah, I was able to just show you guys the outside of it and look into some of the windows from a distance and so on. So I will cue that video now so you guys can see that. Okay guys, so I just got off of work and I drove over here. This is like about 4-ish minutes from where I work in downtown, and this is the historic Everett Museum. I mean, not museum, theater. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I am parked in front of it right now. I had already tried coming to this location before, but there was like absolutely no parking because I went on like a Friday. Today is a Tuesday, but let me turn the camera so you guys can see it. Here is the building. I don't really know if I actually want to get out of the car to show you guys, since I can't even go in there anyway, but here it is, as I promised probably in the video that I haven't filmed yet, where I'm probably gonna tell you guys that I was able to come and take a look at it myself in person. Right now it's not looking very spooky because it is still daylight outside, and I think it's 8:45 right now, 8:45 p.m. and obviously I didn't want to stay around here for longer than that because I want to go home. But here it is. I don't think you can go in there or anything, but there is like a red LED light in there that I'm guessing says the movies or something, but I don't know. Like, yep, the historic Everett Theater since 1901. There it is. You guys see any ghosts in there? But yeah guys, that is the historic Everett Theater. It's very spooky looking. I wish I could go inside, but obviously they are closed. I don't know if they have any like regular hours or if they play anything, but yeah guys, now back to the video. But yeah guys, so I didn't actually get to do any paranormal investigating, but I got to see one of these allegedly haunted locations, even though it was outside. It was from the outside only, and I didn't actually get to go in. Like, would I be actually brave enough to go in? I don't know. Like, to investigate it like by myself or with another person, I think I would be pretty scared to do that. But it was still really fun, and when I was looking this up and I saw the address for it, I actually just put it on Google Maps and I was like, this shit's like 3 minutes away from me. It was like 3 or 4 minutes, depending on like finding parking and stuff. And I was shook because I literally got off of work. I turned a couple of blocks and I was literally in front of it, and I was like, how did I not know about this place? You know, I had no idea about this haunted location. I had never heard of it. I have driven past this area so many different times because the Funko Pop store is down there too. So I've been in this whole area, and there's a bunch of other buildings that have been there for a long time, but have either been abandoned or there's no actual history behind it, like of paranormal activity. But yeah, that was super crazy for me to find out, and it was so fun to just drive down there and take a look at it like for myself, not just in pictures, and then actually get to show you guys that I went and drove over there. It was so fun. But yeah guys, that is going to be the last location that I will be talking about today, and I really hope that you enjoyed this, especially because this is something close to me. It's like in my home state, and I could possibly drive over to some of these for some of these videos depending on how far they are, but we don't have too many places to choose from here. even though Seattle does have a lot of historic buildings that we've kept for like hundreds of years, but it's mostly in downtown, and I'm like a good 30 minutes away from downtown, and I hate driving over there. If you guys have ever been to Seattle, the roads are like this. It's like freaking going on a roller coaster, and you get stuck like in an entirely vertical position sometimes, and it's a nightmare going down there. I absolutely hate it, which is why I don't do a lot of the touristy things here. But anyway, guys, as I said, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. But before I do end the video, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. As always, I really do appreciate it, and it really makes my day. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. Hopefully I will see you in my next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye.